Hey everyone, this is the Recovery Playbook. I am so blessed to have one of my favorite people on the planet, Shelton Wilder. And let me tell you, she is an entrepreneur. She is a real estate guru in terms of this. She's everywhere. And the other thing is, she's like one of the best moms in the world. And I want to say happy recovery birthday.
Yes.
How many years?
11. 11 yesterday.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
So you knew you couldn't get through Thanksgiving or Christmas, so you had to.
I get it was God's plan, so thank goodness.
So what we do at the Recovery Playbook is we love celebrating people who are what we call sober mentors, people of long-term sobriety and long-term success. And with 11 years, that's a long-term sobriety. And I know you've had success, but with success comes ups and downs.
Yes.
So the very first question I always like to ask, tell me about when you knew you were an entrepreneur, how that worked its way into a journey, and now you have a thriving business. Let me vouch for it, folks. It's thriving. Okay? So tell me about your entrepreneurial journey.
Okay, well, so there was quite the journey that happened, and so I feel like I started my entrepreneur journey before I got sober.
Yeah.
And when I actually moved out here 14 years ago, I started my own business, and it was a luxury lifestyle management company where I would help people shop and style and hang out and just do their life. I planned a big wedding and did these different things. Then I decided to start a clothing line, and that's kind of where things got a little rocky. And then it hit 2008. And then I actually went bankrupt, and that was in 2009. And
Which a lot of people did.
yes, I mean at least there was a lot of people. I wasn't like a lone ranger where like people are like crushing life, and then
What are you doing in the gutter over here?
No, we were. It was a lot of people were struggling, but then thank God for that, because that kind of was, that catapulted me into, needing to get sober. So that was 2009, at the end of October 2009, and then I kind of was on a entrepreneur journey, and then I did the clothing line again in sobriety. Was on Shark Tank, and did that, and then it was like a slip line called Shimmy. And then after I got married and had a baby, I decided like, okay, this is not going to work. We're not doing this. And then that's when I had the idea for real estate. And since then, I've had my license 5 years. That's when I was just like, this is what I'm doing. And so thank God for owning all those businesses, though, and having all those ups and downs, because I knew to treat it like a business. Not like, oh, you sell a house and then you like go on vacation and hang out. Like, it was very much like, no, this is a business. You're going to invest in your business, and every time you sell something, you put it back into the, So it's been really great.
So what I've heard here is out of failure, out of mistakes,
Yes.
life's lessons, even though they're tough to handle, are really the playbook for you in your current business.
Absolutely.
And so tell my audience about the importance of failure.
Okay, so for me, failure, that's where I learned all my big lessons and what not to do again. That's what I would say. What not to do again.
I do that in personal relationships.
Yeah. Yes. Very true. I do too.
Okay.
I do too. And definitely in personal relationships, but in the business, to just not do those mistakes, not overspend, not just like pretend like somebody's gonna, just, they're gonna pick up the line and I'm the next Spanx, and, just kind of grandiose ideas. And so I've kept it really, I don't know. I've just been way more thoughtful about my business. I have an accountant and, business plan, a business coach, the whole thing. Yeah, everything. And we've been trying to slowly grow and be really thoughtful about it, rather than just like, it's just going to be fine. Let's just keep spending.
So here at Startup Recovery, we love mentorship. Who were your mentors to get you where you are today?
Okay, so I am in Debtors Anonymous program as well, and that has been really, really helpful.
Life-changing.
For me. Yeah, totally life-changing. And my sponsor there has just been incredible, and she's the one that would, like, I would be complaining, and I'd be like, da-da-da-da-da, and then hello? And she just hung up on me. Like, she was not going to let me manipulate, and she was not going to take any of my BS. Like, it was very hardcore. I had to do the steps and do all of that. So she's been a major mentor. And then also my first broker was at a small brokerage in Malibu. And then actually she's now my coach and / business mentor. And I hired her to help our business grow. So she's kind of like HR / helps with the business planning, keeps us on track. So it's been really helpful to have that because she's owned a brokerage and done all this real estate thing. So you want to have like the recovery side of a mentor, but it's also good to have a business mentor too.
People that have probably made mistakes and they're preventing you from making mistakes.
Exactly. Like, okay, this is what you're what you're not going to do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. I always say I've had good bosses and bad bosses, and I've learned more from the bad bosses because I've learned what not to do. Right?
Yes.
From the bad bosses. So I have a question. You brought up Debtors Anonymous.
Yes.
A lot of times we talk about CA, NA, AA.
Yes.
Tell me, my audience a little bit about DA.
Okay, so I'm in AA. That was my first program, and then I went to Al-Anon and went all around. But DA is for Debtors Anonymous, and after going bankrupt, I really found out like that was a lot of the core issues that I had. I was around money, finances, relationships around it, and childhood things. And there's these crazy steps that you do. There's this yellow book. There's like 155 questions that you go through really in depth that we did. And yeah, it's been amazing that work to go really deep. It's just kind of like a graduate program and really focuses on the money. And then it's just really nice too that like my sponsor will say, oh, she does not care what I make. She's like, how much is in your savings? How much have you saved? Like, don't tell me what you make. What have you saved? What have you invested? And that kind of thing. It's really actually helpful for someone that had, a spending, just like, oh, we just spend money to make money. It's like, no, we got to just bring it down, Miss Grandiosity. Let's stay humble pie, because it went kind of crazy. I had a lot of success young, and then that's when, everything kind of.
And you think it will last forever?
Oh yeah, and it was And I also, I'll say the other thing too. I was saying this to somebody the other day. I'm the boss, but I need to pay somebody to be my boss, kind of, to hold me accountable a little bit more. Because if it's just me going rogue, like that's why Laura's there. Like I pay her to like.
Well,
make
it
sure,
sounds like you have a recovery board of directors.
Yes, there's a lot. So, I would definitely say that.
Okay, which we recommend to my audience all the time.
It's like a
get your board of directors.
I'm going to call them that. That's actually I'm going to change the
good,
name.
Shelton. Because here's my criteria for my board of directors: long-term sobriety, long-term success, long-term marriages.
Oh, and yes.
And if I have 3 guys that have that, I have 3 women that have that. And those 6 people are instrumental in my life. I need a counseled life. When I'm out there on my own, and I'm sure you're the same way.
Like going rogue. I call it going rogue, and I'm like, this idea, and it's like, let's bring it in and see what we're really going to do.
And I think you're like me. I was the type of entrepreneur that had 7 ideas, right? And I tried to push them all across. And then one of my mentors goes, hey, listen, I like the 7 ideas, but take them and do it this way. You knock down one. Then here comes the second one. You're still going to get the 7 done, but they all can fit in a line versus trying to push all 7 across.
At one time.
Right? Yeah. And I think that's what you found with your real estate business. And what's the name of your business?
So it's the Shelton Wilder Group. Okay. We're at the brokerage where we hang our license is at Compass. And and then, it's great. It's great.
And they have some unique motivators, Compass does. Tell me about like bonuses, don't they?
Oh yeah, well I was recruited to go, yes, and so that that was great, and they just have a lot of technology and marketing and everything. But we kind of are, especially during COVID, it's been like we're like our own little entity. I mean, because I have 2 full-time assistants, a PR marketing gal, then we have Laura, kind of the business, like the board of directors, and then we have 3 people on the team, and also like a transaction coordinator. So we have like a lot of us kind of internally working together, and so that's been, that's how we're doing things.
So before we get into DeLorean and we go back in time to when you were a real mess.
When it went down pretty quickly,
When you were powerless over blank, and blank. I just want to say, what I have to get this answer because you are one of these moms I watch with great, affection. Just tell me how you balance being a mom, a wife, a business owner.
Yeah.
Tell me that balance.
So that's a challenge for sure. I have 2 boys. They're 4 and 6, and Gregg's girls and my boys are already going to get married. We already have that. We've set it up. It's already going to happen. And I feel that the way that, like Clark, my husband that you know really well, also sober, we met in the rooms, and he's an attorney, but we call him the sweatpant lawyer. So he made it popular before quarantine. Like he had already had that down, but he's really hands-on with them. And then we have a full-time nanny that's been with us almost 7 years, and she's family. She's mommy 2. I'm mommy 1. And having that and that trust is, and then I see them every single day and take care of them, put them to bed every night. But I have like really special, like I'm like the fun mom. I'm more like the
You're like the fun dad.
I'm like the 1950s dad. Like I'm like going to work. I'm like, see you later, you know. But we have such a good balance of they feel so safe because they have Juanita, they have my husband, and then they see me. And then they're really independent too. I mean, they're super independent. I haven't babied them, and then So it's been a good. That's been
Let
a
me
good
ask you
balance.
this: have you spoke to the boys like adults from day one?
I don't know if it's adults, but yeah, I mean, they're not really babied.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what we did. We just started talking to our girls.
Yeah,
like the Goonie Goo Goo talk was not around for long. No.
No, because we were doing stuff, and they get their own. They make their own breakfast. They make their bed. They get dressed themselves. I mean, my friends are like, "Is Bo driving to school? He's 6." I'm like, "Yeah, he needs to get on it. Like, get a grip."
Yeah, for sure.
And I was really independent.
Yeah.
And so I want them to be get their own breakfast. Like they do all that. So it's kind of good. And so I'm proud of that. And you know, some moms are they do things different ways, but I'm like a very full-time working mom. Yep. And they're really happy. And I also, this was a big tip. I have an amazing client right now, and she's a huge producer, director. And she said she used to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm leaving you." And she said that my advice to you is just make work fun, like it's a good thing. So I'm just like, "Oh, I'm going to do it." And
I saw you use Lane's.
Lane's and he's in the video.
Yeah.
They're part of the videos. They're part of the marketing. Same with Clark. He's like, "Oh, do you need a picture of me?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You're part of the brand." Like,
you gotta tell Clark to shave the beard before he's camera ready.
With the mustache. I was like, "Please." But yeah, so I incorporate them in, make them have fun with it, and they don't think like, "Oh gosh, my mommy's leaving." It's more of like, "Oh cool, she's gonna be back, and then she's gonna do fun stuff with us." And we make really like date nights and special.
Love it. Good mommy. Good. Nice.
I'm
nice.
trying.
You're doing good. So let's go back into the DeLorean.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about the AA stuff. Okay. And what I want to ask you is, tell me a little bit about your rock bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
And then obviously the show is called the Recovery Playbook. And what I want to ask you is, what was your playbook that first year? So tell me about your rock bottom and what was your playbook that first year?
Well, the rock bottom, the reason I brought up the bankruptcy was that happened in February. And so I feel like that whole February to October was a real mess. I feel like it was just kind of circling the drain. It was not good going at the end. And so I was blacking out a lot. It was mostly alcohol. But I drank every day from 18 to 30. Every day. I did not take a day off. I hate quitters. I was like, master cleanse, still drinking, didn't say Pinot Grigio, like every day, no days off. And so,
And real quick, 18 to 30 was North Carolina?
North Carolina, then, University of Georgia, crazy.
Yeah.
I got a drinking degree. And then Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm from, and then I came out here.
Got it.
And those last 3 years, from October to October of those 3 years, like when I thought I had a driver, I had this business. I mean, I thought I was like Britney Spears meets Paris Hilton. I mean, I went cuckoo out here. And because I didn't have a boss, I didn't have a job anymore. I was my own boss, and I just was that's why I have to hire somebody to be my boss like that. So I know what I need and don't need. Anyway, so yeah, it was just a lot of blacking out, and then I think losing everything was when it was just so devastating. So you always remember your bottom when your birthday comes up. I'm sure you
for sure
do that.
I when I have to share my day one story, I tear up. I'm coming up on 26 years, and I still cry because I'm so blessed that moment happened to me. And that moment was much bigger than me. It was the good man upstairs, the good woman upstairs grabbing me and really saying, "Hey, knucklehead, this is it. If you don't go right instead of left this time, you're not coming back.
Yeah. No, I agree. I had an intervention, and every year I text the girls, and I'm like, you were so brave, because I was pretty, like, I was scary, you know what I mean? So they did, and I live with these girls, and then they did the intervention, and it was good.
So you started going to AA meetings?
I went to rehab. I went to rehab, and I showed up as like Legally Blonde goes to rehab. Like I had literally like my diary. I'm like, hi, I'm here to be with you. I didn't even own. I wore a dress every day. Literally, my sponsor had to drive me to buy me my first pair of sweatpants. I never owned sweatpants. I was like dressed up to the nines every day. They're like, this is rehab. You need to chill out here, okay? So, and I think a big thing is I left my phones with my friends.
Got it.
And so I just really could like detach and like write
and work on you.
And actually do the steps, you know, and do the group work and everything. So I went to rehab in Santa Barbara, not a fancy one, and I needed because I was already Miss Fancy Pants. And so anyway, it was good, and I got that, you know, really, and I stayed sober ever since their intervention. So I felt really grateful. But the first year was, like you said, the first year I was kind of on the pink cloud for a while. Mm-hmm. The first year, I think second year for me was much harder because I was really
tell us why
I was really doing a lot of the work. And then I also in the first year was thinking I was going to get back with my ex-boyfriend that we had been on and off again for like 10 years since North Carolina, and he lived out here and he was sober. And then actually, this is a funny story I was telling friends last night. I brought my journal to his house, and I ended up leaving my journal at his house. He read it, made copies of it. We did not get back together. It was not good. But I think that I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm just going to get through the first year, and then there's my life going to be like that. And then the second year, I know.
My heart rate just went up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I can just imagine what's.
Why did I bring a journal?
Woo!
So anyway, and he's fine, and it was just meant to be. But yeah, I had to really do the work and do all that sex inventory and all the writing and all the it was a lot in the second year. But that's what I needed.
But you needed uncover, discover, discard. Uncover, discover, discard.
Yeah.
You got to do.
This is easy.
But you got to do it. You got to do that ugly work.
Thank God. And now I have this great husband and great kids. Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't do the ugly work, you're never going to be pretty.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, like, the first year was kind of pink clouding it, and then, yeah.
So I have 3 words that I ask all my guests to talk about, because I just think they're central to recovery. So I'll pitch them to you, and you just tell me first thought, go from resentment.
Oh, yes, resentment. That is, I think that's that's what, I didn't even know what that word was, really, when I got here. That's what the drinking was all about. The spending, the drinking, I think all of it was all about the resentment. I moved here in a resentment. I went to the college I went to on resentment. I did everything I did on resentment. I mean, and all those businesses I started before were like based on resentment.
I'll show you.
Yeah, and I'll show you, and I'm going to do this. And that's why.
And they weren't authentic.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like with real estate, the reason it's been so successful is because there was no resentment. There was nothing. I wasn't proving anything. It wasn't like, I'll show you, I have to do something better than you. It was just totally clean. Finally, it was totally clean. So that's what really felt good. So that's why you have to do the 10 step. You have to keep writing. You had to do the night. You had to do the night stuff. Do it all to get clean, like you said.
Shame.
Oh, shame. Shame was so big. I'm Southern. Oh my God. And then I was on Shark Tank saying that I was sober in front of national television, that I went bankrupt. I mean, my mom threw a party and thinking, because I couldn't tell her what happened. She was like, everyone get out. Everyone, you can go. She was like, that's about enough. Say you all later. And they have their drinks. You know, shame. Yeah, that's a big... That's a big part of it, and I.
So what do you tell the girls, the women you work with, when you're sponsoring someone around shame? Because I'm sure they show up.
Oh yeah.
With that.
Oh yeah, it's that. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot for women, and then going through the money stuff and any sort of weird sexual stuff or anything that happens. So, it's just you got to go through it.
Uncover,
you have to
discover, discard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you got to write about it.
You got to get the ugly out before you get pretty.
Yeah, it was. that's.
I'm so glad that someone like you
Shame's
tells our audience that you have to do the work.
Yeah.
So.
And it's painful. It's painful.
For sure.
But it's better than just holding on.
So I have a little
you can't
saying.
get through it.
When I share my pain, I cut my pain in half. And when I share my joy, I double my joy.
Oh, that's so
And so when we talk about being parents and boys and girls, right? We know, right? We know what that's like, right? And I have Jennifer and you have Clark. It's like we know, right? So there's our joy. But then all of a sudden some pain comes along and I go, hey, can you help me? And all of a sudden I was with, it really does help put out the fire. So my last word works with both of them, forgiveness. Oh. What's the secret of forgiveness?
Forgiveness is, that's the serum to all of it. That's what it is. That's the breakthrough for resentment and shame, I think, the forgiveness. And forgiveness of ourselves, but also of others, really. I mean, it was a challenging relationship with my mom, and then she passed away almost 2 years ago, and it was just like all love, all forgiveness, all, and it was a breakthrough, and it was like a living amends kind of thing, calling her every day when she was sick with lung cancer and all that.
And it was a long goodbye.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it got to be long. Yeah. And then not shaming her for drinking and her cigarettes. And it was just, she was her. Just let people be themselves. And then I really believe there's 3 kinds of business: my business, your business, God's business. Get the heck out.
I'm not
going to get in your business. I'm staying out of there. That came from my sponsor. I love her. She said, she helps me with that. And it's just,
say that one more time.
3 kinds of business: my business, your business, and God's business. And it's really, you got to stay out. Like, it's just, you can only manage and control yourself. So forgive others, move on, only control yourself, just leave it alone.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So just a couple more things. With anybody who's successful in recovery or successful in business, routine has to be part of it. What is your routine?
Okay, so I do have a routine, and I'm not great at a morning routine or anything exactly, but I definitely have a schedule, and I did not want to have a schedule for so long. I wanted to be so broke. I have my own business. I can do it. It's like, oh no. So we have like a Google Calendar that I stay on the schedule with my assistants, and then we plan everything. So that's been really good. And I have these special meditations from this gal I go to, that she creates these like hypnosis meditations. And
tell us about those.
Oh yeah.
Who is it?
She's amazing. Amy Budin. She's in the Palisades. It's been life-changing. I've done it, I don't know, only maybe 4 months, but it's been really, really powerful, because she does this deep hypnosis, and then she gives you the recordings.
Love it.
So I listen to it every day. Yes.
Repeat.
Oh, yeah, the same ones. And, you can skip around to other ones, but it's working on whatever that I need to. Like right now I'm working on boundaries, and then other things working on just kind of like being in my power. A lot of times being Southern, you can be like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings, I don't want to, it's sometimes just like, oh, well, you gotta step up, and when we're doing is I'm the queen. So it's kind of funny to say, but anyway, so that helps a lot. And then also prayer, always prayer, but the meditation I do with the sounds, with hers. And then going to meetings, obviously.
Yep, I see you there a lot. Yeah,
see the meetings, and that's just been, that's my main...
Rinse and repeat.
Routines, and staying on the schedule.
What time do you go to bed at night?
Probably around between 10 and 11. Not too crazy. Sometimes it used to be so super late, but I'm trying to... And then I have some workout schedules with some friends of mine. We do like these Zoom workouts now to keep each other on track, like around 6:30 in the morning. So I try to get up early enough, and then, start the day.
Awesome.
With the kids,
So at Startup Recovery, a big part of our thing is we coach people in 4 lanes: recovery, career, passion, and legacy. So I always ask this question: what is legacy? What is Shelton's legacy?
What is Shelton's legacy? Well, I mean, I really love what I do. And I know it's my career also, but I try to bring in a lot of charity and different things into my team, and that's super important to me, of giving back. It's like the whole job, everything that we do in sobriety is all being of service. Yep. So that's just a big thing, and it always has been. And I wouldn't be here or alive or thriving like this without being of service. So that's kind of, I would say that's sort of my legacy. And
I got to tell you, everybody that sat in that chair,
yeah,
okay, that's the common theme.
Oh, being of service.
You got to give to get.
Yeah. Oh,
you're not looking to get anything. You just keep giving, and guess what? Comes around.
Comes around.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. And I want to see I want my boys to see us, being like a strong businesswoman, and I think, and I'm big on women supporting women. I mean, my team is mostly women. We have one guy. I was like, yes, come on, John. He's great, but it's a lot of women, and
and we need more of that, for sure. And what I like about your story, and I'll get to my last part of questions, is you're breaking family cycles.
Oh, for sure.
You're breaking family cycles. And whether you know it or not, Shelton, you are. I'm watching from afar, and you just are.
Yeah.
You're a present mom. You're a loving wife. You're empathetic to someone who's got 1 day or 100 days. Yeah. And that's not who some of your family was. Yeah. That's not who my family was.
Yeah.
It was, they were not the best of people. But here we get to show my little girls, you get to show your little boys, a whole different way of being raised. And I think it's kind of cool, but, whether they like it or not, your boys, my girls, they're getting the 12 steps.
Oh, yeah, through osmosis. Yeah.
The actions.
And they never see us drinking.
Oh.
And we're not like, I mean, because, it was like Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde. Like, you would know who you were going to, get, on certain days.
I'm so glad that God goes, okay, I got to get you through some sobriety, a good chunk, maybe 15 years, and then all of a sudden, now you're ready to have kids, and you're ready to have, so that was my story. That's my story. So here we go. This is called the fast questions, right? Oh, gosh. So you remember the Actors Studio with James Lipton? He had these quick questions? So here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Your favorite AA slogan?
Oh, pause when agitated.
Okay, your least favorite?
Least favorite. Oh, I kind of like them all. I just, about how long it can take sometimes. Slowbriety or something like that. I'm like, no, I need to. No, I'm like, excuse me, right now, I'm healed.
That's still a little bit of your old self.
Yeah.
That happens for a lot of us. We always want
just want it right now.
For sure. What turns you off in recovery?
Oh, turns me off. Any sort of, clickiness or gossiping or anything like that. Yeah. I've tried to stay way away. I'm like Miss Positron, just like, I'm not going to talk about any of that.
What's your favorite step?
Oh, my favorite step? I would definitely say it was step 9 and getting to that. I got so much relief from that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What profession, other than the one you have, would you like to try?
Oh, well, we're always just praying if it's God's will, if we ever had a show or anything like that. It would still be in real estate, so I love that still, but, I just married my friends this weekend, and then
I saw that. I was part of the Zoom. I was there.
And I was marrying them, and people were reaching out for me to be like a professional officiant, and I'm like, how fun would that?
Be careful what you ask for.
Like, really?
Yeah. Wow, a little side hustle.
Anyway, that one.
Little side hustle.
I know, that was kind of funny. Yeah.
What profession would you never want to do?
Oh gosh, a nurse. I'm so impressed with them, and thank God for them. And they are just, they are angels. But that would be, I couldn't do that. Yeah. Literally, they're angels. It's just so.
So I'm really borrowing this last question from the Actors Studio.
Oh, okay.
Ready? If heaven exists and you get to the pearly gates.
It does.
It does. What is God going to say to Shelton when you get to the pearly gates?
Oh, he's going to say, welcome. Come on in. I feel like he's going to be like, thank you for all the joy you've spread, Miss Positron. Come on in. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, okay. Come see your mom and your grandparents and everything. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this has been a delight, a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
So this wraps up another episode of the Recovery Playbook. I have Shelton Wilder here, and she's an entrepreneur. She is a real estate guru. She is a woman in recovery, and she is quite the mama bear. So I'll see you guys down the road, but thank you again.
Thanks.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you. This is amazing.
Don't you like it?
And congratulations on everything you've done.
Yeah.
Really. It's been fun to watch you grow.
Thank you. Yeah.
Really.
Right? We're barely 3 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. I'm so impressed.
Well, good. And we're glad that you're one of our sober mentors.
Yes.
Thank you for making the time. I know you're
Oh,
very busy.
of course.
And God bless you.
Anytime. God
Okay,
bless you.
all right.
Okay, bye.
All right.